Hey traders, I'm back with a market outlook trading video. So in this video, I'm going to show you the trading bias for the new week. I want to show you the key levels that you should pay attention to. As you will see shortly, many of these key levels turn out to be actual support and resistance level during the trading week. Therefore, it's imperative that you pay close attention, but more importantly, you actually note down these levels and plot them on your charts. Because during the trading week, you will see price bounce off these levels, and this will help you make the better decision, right? You will not sell into support or buy into resistance if you have these levels on your chart. Now, with that being said, as always, I'll be using the 3-day trading guide, which has the strategy MPE right over here. Okay, if you're new to this channel and you have not downloaded this 3-day trading guide, I will leave a link to how to download it in the description down below. Basically, this is a link, you can just go grab it, it's free, and it's a very comprehensive guide which have the exact strategy that I'll be using, as well as other stuff such as the candlestick pattern and some case studies of how to use this strategy. So let's get into the analysis right away. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the Forex calendar, right? The economic calendar. So right here, you can see that we are trading on the week of March 22nd to March 26th. And today is the 21st of March. So today is a Sunday and we are planning for the week ahead. Now you can see the next week is going to be a week which it's a lot of speeches. You can see that the Fed Chairman Powell is going to speak, he's going to testify, then he's going to testify again. Okay, I do not know why he has to testify so much, but there's going to be a lot of speeches, and then you have the BOC and you have the BOE. And then lastly, you have the Euro Summit. So we have a ton of conferences, and that means that the market is going to be very whippy. Okay, I hate weeks like this because these are the kind of weeks where the market goes nowhere because one person can just say something. For example, the Fed Chairman Powell might just say something, and then the price starts to spike in one direction. So these are the kind of weeks that I hate. So please be very patient. Okay, don't expect the market to trend very nicely. Be very patient. Just wait for the best setup. If possible, do not trade. Okay, just really focus on the best setups. So with that being said, let's go into the DXY. I want to start off this analysis with DXY. So DXY stands for the dollar index, and it tells us the direction of dollar. Okay, once you know the direction of dollar, you know how to trade most of the major pairs such as the Aussie dollar, the pound dollar, the dollar franc. So right here, you can see that these are the levels that I've drew. So right here, last week, I actually have these levels and there's not much changes to these levels. Because right here, you can see that this is a swing high, and true enough, price has been hovering around this level. So as I mentioned at the start of this video, it's very important that you take note of these levels, because if you didn't know that this level exists and you were trading last week, let's say you were trading, you were short and you shorted into support, chances are you will have lost money. Okay, because you short here, you're shorting into support, then you put your stop loss anywhere higher, somewhere here, then you would have been stopped out. So this is very important. So right now, price is hovering in the middle of nowhere. It's between two levels, between the resistance and support. So it's going to be quite difficult. Okay, this coupled with the fact that there's a lot of speeches next week tells me that probably it's going to be a very range bound scenario. So I want to be very cautious. I don't want to trade any breakout. I don't want to anticipate any breakout. Okay, you want to be very patient, wait at the bottom or wait at the top. Anyway, most of the time you guys won't be trading into DXY. Okay, personally, I also do not trade directly into DXY, but DXY will tell you what you should be doing with the other currency pairs. So, for example, if you see a pin bar over here, then you know that okay, there's probably some form of strength here. Then I'll be looking to buy dollar, and you'll be looking at shorting currency pairs like Euro dollar, Pound dollar, Aussie dollar. Okay, the trend is still upwards because if you are following the MPE trading strategy right here, let me just show it and do a quick refresher. Market condition, price level, and entry. So market condition is bullish because you have a high, you have a low, you have higher high, higher low. So it's bullish. So you want to look at buying. And then you have a key level right over here. You just need a price to be lower with a nice candle so that you have a nice risk to reward to target here. Okay, you do not want to chase the trade and start buying here because that would result in a very poor risk to reward. If you do something like this, for example, you target the take profit here, your risk to reward is very bad. So you don't want to do this. So let's move on to euro dollar. So euro dollar, I adjusted the level a bit. So just pay close attention. So right now I see that euro dollar is also in a range. Of course, you have the lower end over here, and then you have the higher end of the range, which is provided by this swing low. And you can see last week, price resisted this level twice. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, euro dollar is still in uptrend. You have the high, you have the low, higher high, higher high here, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, but in the intermediate trend over here, you have something like a I think they call it a wedge pattern. Okay, something like this. Okay, it's like a wedge, falling wedge. So it's still consolidating downwards. So you also have a low, you have a high, you have a lower low. Okay, so if you want to stick with this trend, then you should be looking to sell in the short term. Ideally, if you could sell somewhere closer up here would be better. Okay, because there's a form of level right here, and you have some form of confluence with the trend line. But right now we are stuck within this zone. Okay, so when you have this kind of market, my advice would be to stay out because it's not very clear. You can see long term is up and the short term is kind of like down. Okay, so stay out. But if you really want to trade, then I think a range play would be best. So let me see if I can draw it out for you to show you how to trade it. So I would really see price as being in a box like that, and I'll look to buy the bottom and sell the top. Okay, of course with a confirmation, candlestick confirmation, price action pattern. So remember, we're still sticking to the NP trading strategy right here. Market condition, price level entry. So market condition is kind of a mix. I would classify this more as range bound. Price level would be this level, and price action trigger would be just wait for a pattern. Right now, price is in the middle of the zone, so please do not chase it. Okay, moving on to pound dollar. So pound dollar, last week I talked about how this was a like inverted head and shoulder. You have a left shoulder here, you have the head, and you have the right shoulder. Okay, in the grand scheme of things, pound dollar is in a uptrend because you have the high here, the low, higher high, higher low. So market condition is bullish and we want to buy. More importantly, we have this inverted head and shoulder pattern, the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So this is a very strong level. And in fact, last week I recommended taking a trade something like this, close to here, and taking something like this. Okay, so this is why it's very useful to watch this kind of videos. Okay, you can go back to a previous week's video and you'll notice that I talk about this. Right, if you had taken a trade, this is actually a very good setup because you have the support. Okay, you are following the NP strategy, which is market condition bullish, so you want to buy. The next thing is price level. Price level right here, we have this inverted head and shoulder, left shoulder level, and then you have the candlestick pattern. Let me delete this so it's clearer. You have this candlestick pattern, which is really like a hammer. Okay, this is again covered in the 3-day trading guide right here. You have the hammer pattern. Okay, so this is how we do it, and then you take a trade as long as the risk to reward makes sense. So in this case, if you entered somewhere here and put your stop loss here, and just target the recent high, which I've already provided you with, then you would have still gotten a good risk to reward of 1:3. Okay, if you were tighter with your stop loss and you adjusted it something like this, you would have gotten a better risk to reward trade. Okay, depending on how you trade it. But I just wanted to highlight that this is a good level for you to trade, and this is a good setup that happened last week. So right now, price has retraced to this level, but this is a very bearish candle. So if you want to buy, then just wait for the candle. Just wait for a bullish candle before you buy, and then just put your stop loss below and then target this level again. Now, if this level is broken, then you could potentially see price hit down lower to this level. Okay, but if price breaks this level, then I'll be very, very concerned and consider buying here. Where I have to really see something strong here, because then what might happen is price might come up and then come back all the way down again. Let me show you. Okay, because if price breaks this, then what you have is a high, low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so it becomes a bearish in the intermediate trend, kind of like a short-term downtrend. Okay, so I want to be very cautious if price breaks this level, but this is a very important level that I want to focus on, and I want to look for buying opportunity. Now moving on to dollar franc. Dollar franc, following the MP trading strategy, is also a clear uptrend. You have the high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So it's a very clear uptrend, okay? But just take note that there's a very strong resistance somewhere over here. So if you scroll back, it's not difficult to see why this is a strong level. Okay, this was a swing high, and you can see that price failed to close above this level. Okay, if you switch to the line chart, you can see that there's actually some form of a double top over here. So this is a very strong level, but that doesn't mean that we want to sell it down. Okay, because remember we are trading using the MPE trading strategy right over here. Okay, if you are new, please stick to this. Okay, if the market is in an uptrend, you should be looking to buy only. So if you go short, this is actually counter trend, and that's not something I recommend, especially if you are still struggling as a trader. Okay, stick to the long setup. Either wait for price to retrace lower. This is also a very strong level, as given by this level here. Otherwise, my preferred setup would be to wait for price to break above, because this is a very strong level. I'll retest this and then take the long trade up. This is the preferred way that I want to trade, okay, but you may or may not get it. So let's just watch the market and just take note of these key levels. Now, this is Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar is very complex as well, because you have the left shoulder here, you have the head, and you have the right shoulder, okay? I already pointed this out like 2 weeks ago that this could happen, and true enough, this happened. Okay, so this is really why you need to be watching this kind of videos and taking notes, because these are levels which are already pointed out before the fact actually happened. So this is your resistance, but you have a ton of support at the bottom as well over here. Okay, so price is in a very tight range, and personally, I won't want to trade this because there's just too many support and resistance level, and it's too close to each other. Okay, let's say you trade here. Let's suppose you take a trade here. You have to put your stop loss at the bottom of the range, because price might just dip lower before going up. So either way, it's not a very good scenario to be trading, because you don't know which part of the zone will hold, right? It might hold here, it might hold over here, or it might hold over here or here. You don't know. So it's not very good to try to predict, because by the time, let's say, price takes a trade over here, by the time it comes here, and you take a trade, and you put your stop loss below, and then it starts dropping lower. And besides, you don't really get a good risk to reward. Okay, so please, this kind of scenario, you shouldn't be trading. Okay, go for the clearer setups. Okay, but these are the levels. So I don't want to spend too much time on this. I just want to show you the levels. Okay, these are the two levels to take note of, or rather, these are the two zones to focus on. Now, same thing for Kiwi dollar, because Kiwi dollar and Aussie dollar is the same. I highlighted the same thing as Kiwi dollar. I highlighted this trend line, and true enough, this trend line is holding. Last week, this trend line was tested. The previous week, this trend line was also tested. Right, so this is very important. Right, this trend line is very important, so please take note. So right now, price is into the support zone right here. So again, I don't recommend that you trade this pair, because even if you buy, your potential profit is quite limited. Okay, depending on how tight your stop loss is. Okay, and this is against kind of like against the trend already, because right now this intermediate trend is kind of like bearish, because you have a low here, you have a high, then you have a lower low, and this is a lower high. Okay, so I would recommend staying away from this chart or this currency pair, because it's just very difficult to trade. Okay, but these are the two key levels, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. Now, dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, it's a long-term downtrend. Okay, very obvious. You have a low, high, lower, low, low, high, and so on and so forth. Okay, but what is interesting is that last week I highlighted this level, and I said that, okay, this is a very strong level. I'll be very wary of this level, because price might actually break down lower and then start retracing up as a form of bearish trap. So what is happening is that all the people who chase after the breakout, they are in the red right now. Okay, so I think I did mention that it's very important that you wait for price to retrace higher. Okay, so how did I get this level? Is if you scroll backwards, you can see that this level is actually over here. You can see that this is actually a swing low. Okay, that's how I got the level, and you can see that there's some form of a level over here as well, and over here. So that's how I got the level. So let's go back into over here. So right now price is retracing. So your long-term trend is down. So you will want to stick to selling because NPE, N stands for market condition, it's bearish. P stands for price level. So we want to wait at this level for a sell down. Okay, so just be patient. Wait for price to retrace here, look for a candlestick pattern and then sell it down, targeting over here. One thing to note is that there might be a potential inverted head and shoulder. So you have a left shoulder here, you have the head, and as price retrace and comes back down, this could be a potential right shoulder. Okay, so if you short right here, just be very wary of taking profit quickly. Just go for the take profit here because this will be a strong level as is a potential inverted head and shoulder. So this might be what will happen next week. So moving on to dollar yen. Dollar yen clear uptrend, high, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. Very clear uptrend, but right now price is stuck at this resistance here. You can see over here, and this support which is given by this level over here. Okay, this level here, this level here, this level here. This is a very strong level. Okay, so in an uptrend and in a range bound, I will recommend to lean towards buying. Okay, technically in a range bound, you can sell the top, but this is a very bullish trend. So it's better to be buying the support rather than to sell the resistance. Okay, who knows, right? If you were to buy at support here and then price actually does this and you make extra money. Okay, so just be very patient, wait for price to come down here. And if you get a nice candlestick pattern, you can go for the trade. What you can also consider doing is take majority of your profits over here, maybe 80% of your profit, and leave 20% of your position size and hope that price breaks. Because if price breaks, it might trend very strongly and you're going to make a lot of money. Yes, you can consider that as well. But apart from these two levels, nothing much to say about the dollar yet. So let's go into gold. XAUUSD is gold. I know many of you love gold. So this one, I actually drew a trend line right here because let me show you in the H4 time frame a bit clearer. So you have the low here, you have the low here, and that's how I got this trend line. Now, long term is in a downtrend. You can see that, okay, sorry, not really exactly long term. Long term is definitely still uptrend, rather more of the intermediate trend. You have the low, you have the high, lower low, low high, lower low, low high, and lower low. Okay, so price is retracing higher. I think I mentioned a lot of times you want to be patient for gold. You want to wait for price to retrace higher and then take a short down. So I have this trend line as well that is supporting price. So just be very careful because what happens is that price might come up here, do this, bounce off here, and then start rallying up. Okay, so if you want to be selling at this level, I think a better play would be to wait for price to break down and then retest the trend line, something like this. Okay, and then look for a new form of price structure such that you have a resistance somewhere over here. Okay, something like that. Okay, again, it's very hard to project the scenario because price is in the middle of nowhere now. I just want to warn you not to chase the market. Okay, please do not chase. If you are more advanced, then you can consider trading off this trend line and target here. Okay, but again, this is for more advanced traders, and I don't want to go into this kind of trades in this video because I don't want to confuse you and have you chasing after trades, especially if you are still new and you have not mastered price action yet. So please do not chase the market. Just wait patiently at this level for some form of bearish price action. Now moving on to Euro Pound. Euro Pound was one of our favorite currency pairs to trade for the past few weeks. But price has started consolidating, so we want to be very patient with this trade. So long-term trend over here is down. We have the low, high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so it's bearish. I want to sell. But one thing I want to point out is that this level here is very, very strong. Okay, it's been holding. And this spike high here is also very strong. So what happens is that there are a lot of stop losses over here. And there are a lot of stop losses over here. And granted that next week there's going to be a lot of conference, what I foresee is that there's going to be a whip in price. Whip means there's going to be a stop hunt either way. Okay, either way, it could be up or down, right? It could be up or down, could be like that. Okay, and what happens is that price will whip the stop losses and go back into the range, or you whip the the stop losses at the bottom and go back into the range. Okay, because there's a lot of stop loss being collected here and here. Because logically, if you shorted, your stop loss should be above here because this is the swing high. And if you bought, your stop loss should go below this low because the swing low is right here. So what I foresee based on my experience is that price is going to whip out all the stop losses either way and then go back into the trading range. So just be very careful. You want to short, okay? You can look for a breakout, a fake breakout play. But again, this is more advanced. Okay, if you're still new, I recommend you to stick towards the day trading guide. And this is a bearish trend. Just look for price to come somewhere here, maybe do a very nice shooting star to whip out all the stop loss and then you take a shot down. Okay, that's the best way I recommend to trade it, especially if you're still a beginner trader. So moving on to the last currency pair, pound yen. Pound yen is a clear uptrend. You have a high, you have a low, higher low, high. So please do not attempt to sell this at all. Okay. Last week I mentioned about the key level being 152.76, and our price almost hit it. Okay. It's shy of about 20 pips. Okay. So this is very important. Why you take note of this level? Because if you had known of this level, if you have been trading, let's say you bought somewhere here, you would know that okay, you're very close to resistance. It's time to take profit. So this is the advantage of watching videos like this. And that's why I take the time on a Sunday to record this kind of videos, even though it's Sunday and I could spend the time with my family and do other things that I like. But I feel it's very important that I record this kind of videos for you. So right here, my price is in the middle of nowhere, it's retracing. Right, I'll be keen to look for a trade setup somewhere here. Okay, actually all this you can kind of remove already. Just wait for price to retrace here, which is actually the previous high. If you change the line chart, it's this high or somewhere this high. So just be very patient, wait for price to come down and look for a pin bar or engulfing pattern and then take the trade. Okay, these are the kind of trade setups that you want to be trading. The very clear-cut scenarios where it's so clear that, okay, it's in a bullish uptrend. These are the key levels. I want to buy off this level. Okay, this is also a psychological number 150. So this is definitely a very strong level to look at buy. Okay, so these are the kind of setups you want to trade, and you want to avoid setups like this Aussie dollar or this Kiwi dollar, which is really a total mess at this point in time. Okay, so that's it for this video. Right, again, I will leave a link to this day trading guide. I'll leave this link in the description down below. So if you are new to this channel, please go grab this, right? Please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you are new and this is the first time you are watching our video, okay, we'll release more trading tutorial videos in a week. Right, we normally upload 1 or 2 videos every single week. So definitely make sure to subscribe because you'll get a ton of value just following our channel. If not, thanks for trading. Just remind you that it's going to be a tough week. So please manage your risk well, okay? Please manage your risk well. Keep your losses in check and we'll come out ahead in the long run, okay? So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.